Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
Yeah. Particularly emotions to do with sadness or vulnerability. We mustn't. It's not good form to express vulnerability in ourselves. And I think the phrase, which often used to be heard, it possibly still is, but big boys don't cry. Now, in a way, that kind of encouragement, that kind of comment to young boys is a real disservice to them, because big boys damn well do cry, and yet you're being told at a young age, no, you boys don't cry, you're not to do that. Yeah, it's okay for girls to, but the boys can't. And as I say, I think it is a massive disservice, because what it means is that so many men, and as we've already said this, probably most men are not able, they don't really feel able to express their inner feelings. Everybody has problems emotionally and otherwise, but if men by and large don't want to talk about them, and that also extends to our physical health. It's well known statistically that a man will resist going to a doctor, even if we could see a doctor today, but that's another story, but would resist contacting a doctor, because I don't know whether it's perhaps fear of what they might be told, or I don't know, it's expressing that vulnerability. I might be unwell. So that's another factor to this, that men don't like making a fuss. They'd rather push it away under a carpet. And one of the sad statistics of this is to do with suicide. Now, in our country, and I think the last figures for 2023, just 2 years ago, the average suicide rate in the UK was 11.2 people per 100,000 people. Which is okay. Thankfully, it's a small number, but which is what you'd expect. But actually, that 11.2 people hides the fact that in 2023, 17.6 men killed themselves, 17.6 per 100,000, as against 5.2 women. So there's a stark difference, and that although they're small figures, thank God, they're still radically different, and 17 per 100,000 is rather more than 5 per 100,000. And clearly, I'm not saying it's all down to an inability to seek help or whatever, but clearly that is part of it, that men are encouraged very early on to not seek advice, not to be able to say, look, I'm struggling and I need someone's help. So I think that plays its part into very much into this. If you think of the recent tragedy of the footballers, Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, they were killed in a horrific car accident. And what was quite eye-opening, I thought, was both all the many flowers that were placed at Anfield, where Liverpool play, where Diogo played, of course, and there were loads and loads of flowers put down there. And you saw on the TV, the news, that a number of the Liverpool players, as they were looking at these and so on, were physically weeping, as was the case at the funeral a couple of days later in Portugal. A lot of people, a lot of men, as well as women, of course, but a lot of the men were crying. And there's absolutely no stigma or shame to that, because men have the same emotional setup as women. It's just that gender roles and bias in some way or another have said men are, big enough, ugly enough to look after themselves, whereas women need help and support. Fine, but we all sometimes need help and support. And sometimes I think it's glossed over, and this is why men really must learn to express our inner feelings much more than we do, because if you dwell on something and don't deal with it, it will only get worse, won't it? So that's, again, this stoic emotionality, I would call. We just kind of jog along, hoping things will correct themselves. So there's that. And as we've said already, another aspect is assertiveness, almost being dominating. There's an expectation of us to be like that. And then we're supposed to be risk takers and being very competitive. Now, that's true. Men are competitive. But I would suggest that it's only the same as women in their own spheres. I mean, we're probably watching the Women's Euros at the moment. And England are doing okay. They play again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you can see within the team and with the manager and the coaches, there's, as with all the teams, there's this determination to win. You know, they're there not to make up the numbers, but the women are there in their teams to win. They've got this spirit of fighting spirit to win the match, to win the game. So it's equally spread amongst men and women, this competitive desire to achieve whatever that goal may be. Yeah. So the idea that it's just, it probably used to be a thing meant.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.